Hello, and my name is Pete Rushmer, and I'm your host today of A Half Dozen Things podcast. A Half Dozen Things is a podcast for business owners just like you. Whether you're an underdog hungry for success, or you're already smashing it but want to continue to level up, we are here each week for you to get insight and learning from the very best in the business. No fluff, no BS, and no self-proclaimed gurus talking about how easy business or life is. I'm buzzing to be joined today by Angelica Larsson. Angelica is a mega famous YouTuber and Instagrammer, and she's got over 1 million followers on Facebook, 308,000 YouTube followers, and 327,000 Instagram followers at the time we recorded this podcast. She's a Swedish HGV driver, and she is a real inspiration. I really hope you enjoy this interview. Cool. So I've just had the American lady tell me we're recording and the red light's rolling. So Angelica, I'm pleased to be. Actually, do you know what? I better just check my pronunciation because I say Angelica, but I think it's Angelica, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, is that okay? Or am I going to offend you if I say Angelica?
No.
Okay, cool. So it's a pleasure to have you on the podcast, and I've been a fan watching your YouTube channel for quite some time. So I feel honoured to have you join me. So for the benefit of the podcast guests, are you able to just sort of introduce yourself? Obviously, I know who you are. Many of them will know who you are and what you do. But are you able to just sort of give yourself a bit of an introduction, please?
Yes. So hi, everyone. My name is Angelica, and I'm a truck driver from Sweden. And I have a YouTube channel where I'm showing everyone when I'm working and what kind of difference it is from Sweden, maybe to some other country. And yeah, people can follow me around on what I do.
Yeah, it's cool. To be fair, watching you, I've learned quite a bit. You know, loads of stuff about heavy haulage, and I think it's really impressive. So, it's dead cool. And you essentially just share like your everyday work, what you're doing, what you're up to, and how things have gone, don't you?
Yes, I do. And I kind of recently changed jobs, so now I'm driving this. I think you call it lowboy when you are driving different machines back and forth, and
that's right.
I think that is super fun. I don't regret at all to have changed job. This is just super fun.
Yeah, awesome. That's dead cool. And you've got like you've amassed like a pretty huge following on YouTube and Instagram. What's your favorite sort of social media platform, and which one do you look to try and grow the most?
I like the YouTube the most because I think that gets more personal. But I have the most following group on my Facebook. I don't know. I don't even know that people are using Facebook anymore, but I have the most people following there. It's almost up in a million.
Wow.
But I think it's more fun with the YouTube just because it's video and you're talking and it gets more fun like that.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's cool. I love Facebook too. I love Facebook, but I can't get my head around Instagram, but maybe I'm just a bit old.
No.
So anyway, I was hoping to sort of speak to you today about obviously you're a Swedish truck driver. I don't know a lot about driving in Sweden. We do a lot of stuff in the UK. My company, we do a lot around compliance and things like that with HGV. So and trucks. So I actually used to work for Volvo once upon a time. I know you drive a Volvo, but I worked for Volvo for a little while before I started my own company. And obviously the podcast, we have listeners there, transport managers, drivers, that kind of thing, people who have been with us for training and things in the UK. So I was hoping to ask you in today's interview about some of the things that you like really love about your job. What is it you love about it? What originated, what caused you to start running the YouTube channel as well, and how that's sort of gone for you. So what's, what is one of your favorite things about being a truck driver? What do you love about it?
I think after I've changed the job to now, I feel like I am growing more and more as a person. Because I don't know, every work you have, you're kind of like growing. And what I have heard, every third or fifth year, you should change job just because you have to explore more of everything that is out there, I think. And what more can I mention?
That's okay. So how long have you been driving the truck, Angelica?
I have been a driver for almost 10 years.
Yeah.
So it's quite a long time. And mostly I have been driving this truck with a wagon behind or a trailer with a dolly. And now it's a trailer or a lowboy.
Yeah, got you. And you're moving sort of the heavy machinery for construction work and that kind of thing, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, excellent. And how did you get into truck driving? Is it something that you always wanted to do, or is it something that has just happened for you?
No, it just happened that I became a truck driver because from school I'm actually educated as CNC operator. So I was supposed to work in a kind of workshop, but since the economic crisis hit Sweden just after I finished school, I was home for a year and didn't have any job or anything. So then my dad told me that I should drive his wheel loader and to shovel snow. So I went into a course and I got the license. And then you could extend the course to become a truck driver. So I kind of like jumped into that because all of my friends were like, oh, you should go and take the license with us as well. And it was super fun. So I kind of like just jumped out of it and yeah.
That's amazing.
Took the license.
That's amazing. That's dead cool. And you've never looked back since 10 years and you're still loving it.
Yeah, I'm still loving it.
Amazing. That's dead cool. Yeah. And when did you then look to like start doing the social media thing? Did that come before? Were you doing that before you were driving, or is that sort of since you were driving that you thought it'd be cool to share the stories and share what you're up to with people?
Yeah, that was after. I don't know if you remember everything about the bottle cup challenge. You know, in different ways, you should screw off the lid of a flask. I don't know if you remember the hype over that.
No,
it was kind of like a hype thing that you should screw off the lid of a flask. So I just took the wheel loader and I kind of like did it with the wheel loader with the forks.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, the bottle top. Yeah, I understand. Yeah. Sorry, I'm following now. I'm with you. Yeah. You did a video for that, yeah?
Yeah, and that's how it started. And it was a lot of people that was watching it, and I was like, maybe I should try to record when I'm working and see if I find an interest there. And it's kind of like just exploded. So I think it was quite fun.
Good. Yeah, and that's what you do it for the fun, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, cool. So, what are your sort of longer term plans? Is there any other types of work that you want to do, or do you want to continue driving your truck for a long time?
Right now, I'm kind of new in this low bed thing, so I feel like I still want to be here a little bit more to learn a little bit more. I think it was 8 years of my last work, so I have learned so much how to operate the wheel loader, for example. And here I get to load and unload myself. So I get to learn how to drive all of these machines. It could be excavators and wheel loaders, and it's different kind of machines all the time. So it's just so much information, so much to learn. So I still have a few years on this, I think.
Yeah, good. That's dead cool. And I suppose you get lots of do you get lots of help and support, or because it looks like you have to work a lot of stuff out on your own all the time?
Yeah, when I'm lucky, I get help to load. If there's maybe the main operator of the excavator, he likes to drive it on himself. But if he isn't there, I have to do it by myself. So it's kind of like depending on where I'm loading or where I'm going, if there's someone there or not. If no one is there, I gotta have to do it myself.
Yeah, got you. And how when you create your videos, do you plan them in advance, or do you just think this is like a good opportunity to make a new video, or is it sort of structured that you plan it in advance?
No, it's kind of like if my boss calls me, he says like, oh, you should go there and pick up this machine. I have my cameras with me all the time, so I'm just kind of like putting up cameras in different angles, and then I just cut it all together when I get home. And yeah, I don't run around to move the cameras. I kind of like place them on different places. Okay, so that's the secret, is having lots of different cameras, so you're then having to sort of stitch all the different video content together. Yeah, exactly.
Cool. And have you taught yourself to do that? Do you do that yourself? You don't have other people do it for you?
Hi, it's Pete from Flagship Partners. We're really proud to sponsor a Half Dozen Things podcast. At Flagship Partners, we take road safety really seriously, and we're your road safety partnership. We help transport companies with compliance and training across their businesses, including first aid, driver CPC, and other transport management services. So if you're FORS accredited or you want to improve your operator compliance risk score, give Flagship Partners a call today.
No, I do everything myself.
That's impressive. That's impressive. So you've self-taught with that as well?
Yeah, I am. And I think it's quite fun. So
Yeah, that must be well, I don't think I've got the patience. So
no,
it must
takes a lot
take
of time, but
a lot of time. Yeah, it must take a lot
yeah.
of time to make even a short video. If you have lots of different video footage to edit it, it must take ages.
Yeah, it takes some time, but I still think it's fun. So it's more like a hobby, and I do it when I feel to. So
yeah, amazing. And okay, so you sort of come up with it as you go, and then you edit it. So do you think sort of in the future, is there any plans for how you're going to sort of evolve the YouTube channel for people? Are you going to be doing sort of other things at all? Or are you going to continue to just go, do you know what, this is cool today, I'm going to share this video?
yeah, I hope to be able to keep going and work on it. I have a huge project that I'm working on that I hope to start this spring. But I still have to wait before I say something, but I hope for it to be a documentary.
Oh, wow. Excellent.
Yeah. So I'm very excited over that.
That's amazing. And is that going to be a Swedish documentary or UK?
No, I'm going to have it in UK in English.
Oh, in English. Excellent.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you about that because your channel is all in English, isn't it? You speak in English. Do you are most of your audience from the UK, or is it just that because everyone, like, obviously English, like people in Sweden will still be fine with understanding it because they're clever and we're not?
Yeah, well, actually, the most people are from the States that is watching,
Okay.
but it's also easier to reach out to people when I talk English.
Okay.
And I guess it's more for the audience than if I would speak Swedish.
Yeah, I see. So actually, your biggest audience is in America, are they?
Yeah, I think it's like 25% or something. So it's quite a lot.
Wow. And one of the things that when I speak to people who do well on YouTube give you lots of data and analytics, don't they, around who's watching and how long they watch for and things like that.
Yeah.
So you can start to adjust things. Do you use that data to help you improve what you do, or do you not really pay too much attention and you just do it for fun?
I always, when I post a new video, I always wanted to be like the most attractive one. So I always keep on my social media. I share my videos because I want it to be like the first one all the time.
Yeah, I see. So you always want it to be better than the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And okay. Cool. So obviously you've shared like what you enjoy about what you're doing. What's like? Tell me like when something bad has happened or something you get frustrated with.
There's actually one thing that I hate to load, and these are the Skylifts. I don't know if you have seen those. When you are in a basket, like far away from the machine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
we call them
telehandlers.
Telehandlers in the UK.
Telehandlers. Yeah. And when my boss calls me, he says, "Well, you're going to go and get one of those." I'm like, no, I'm going to quit my job now. I don't want to.
Oh, okay, so we won't be seeing many videos of those soon then.
No, I'm just standing there and kind of like screaming like a baby, like, no, it's so high. I'm afraid of heights.
Don't make me do this.
Yeah, very unpleasant. Yeah, I could drive any machine at all, but when it comes to those, no, I don't like them.
Don't like it. Oh, fair play to you. Okay, cool. And do you get like so I guess one of the questions that I wanted to ask particularly around, so you'll have a lot of people following you and stuff. Do you get lots of like messages and things like that from people all the time, and does it ever get a bit frustrating that you can't get back to people and that kind of thing, or is it fine if people message you, you can get back to them?
Yeah, I actually get a lot of messages. I don't even watch my inbox because it's so much. If I post something like in my story or anything, it's like it's overwhelming with messages, and I just feel like it's unfair if I would answer one person and maybe not the other. So I just don't answer anyone.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
And I'm
that
trying
makes
to
sense.
make it, I try to make it like in my YouTube videos. If someone have questions, I just take all of the questions and try to make it in a video or in a text or something.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, and one of the
Also, I have on my Facebook, when I post, I answer almost all of the questions that I get in there.
Okay.
So if someone has a question, it's mostly that I will answer on the Facebook.
Yeah, got you. And do you have like an issue with like men being sleazy with you? Like I often hear women say that they have men being sleazy, sending them things that they shouldn't do and that kind of thing.
No, actually not. I'm very, very lucky in my opinion, because everyone is like, oh yeah, girl, you're so awesome, and we need more girls that are drivers. And
that's amazing. That's good.
Yeah, I think it's super fun, because I have girlfriends that are also drivers, and they can get like very unpleasant messages, but
Yeah.
I'm getting more like power up messages, and I think that's really awesome.
That's good. That's positivity. That's really good. And I don't know what it's like in Sweden, but in the UK, the percentage of women drivers is really, really small. Really small.
That is also a fun thing about Sweden, because a lot of the schools here in Sweden, when you learn to drive, there's actually more women than men that is getting educated now.
Awesome. That's good. So more. So do you mean driving cars or do you mean driving trucks?
No, driving trucks.
Really? That's amazing.
Yeah,
so more women than men are learning to drive in Sweden.
Yeah.
That's dead cool.
So I think that's very unique. I think it's really, really cool, actually.
Yeah, that is really cool. Do you know, is there, okay, so there's potentially something we could learn from that in the UK. Like what is it that they're doing differently to encourage women to do it? Because in the UK, I think it's not very popular. You know, it's not something that people want to do. Are Sweden doing something different to make it more interesting for people?
I think that Sweden has kind of like make it so glamorous to be a truck driver. I think that's why more girls are getting interested in it. And today's girls are more like power women than there was maybe earlier, and they want to be like equal. Sweden is very like, we want to be equal. So I think that also, yeah, I
love that. That's really, really dead cool. Because I don't know if you probably are aware, I suppose, working in the transport industry, but in the UK we have a real shortage of drivers at the moment. It's a real problem, and you know, with Brexit and things like that, and the pandemic and things, you know, we're really, really struggling for drivers. So trying to encourage people to come and drive, but the conditions in the UK, they're not so good. You know, there's not good brake facilities. The showers stink. You know, it's not very clean. Whereas I know in Sweden, sort of, everything's very clean. It's very nice, isn't it? So it's a much different experience. Maybe the UK can take a leaf out of Sweden's book.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, cool. So I'm just trying to think what else I wanted to ask you before I let you disappear for the evening.
Yes.
So obviously you enjoy sort of the learning and the progression. I guess one of the other things I would ask is like, what can, in the UK, if we want to try and encourage more women to come driving, for example, and this is something that's quite close to my heart, if we could want to encourage people to come and do more driving, what can we do to improve the situation and to make more people want to come into driving and enjoy driving?
I don't know if you have this, but here in Sweden, in the schools, they can have like, either if it's a handyman or if a chef or something, they come to the schools and they're kind of like presenting, like, this is how it looks like at our work, and this is what we do when we are working. Maybe take some girls that are driving trucks to take them to the school and explain to them what it's like and how it feels, and give them a chance to see how it works and what's the deal is.
Yeah, awesome, and that's a fantastic idea, isn't it? I think something that I do locally as a local business owner in Peterborough, where I live, is I go into
I have been there.
You've been to Peterborough, have you?
Yeah,
They
to
have-
the truck fest.
That's right. Yeah, that's where. Yeah, that Truck Fest is. I live right on the Truck Fest doorstep. Yeah, it's right near my house, and
Oh.
yeah. So we do stuff in the local school to try and improve like so employment opportunities. So you get into the schools for the young people and you sort of give them suggestions. So I try and help with transport, for example. But yeah, it's a good idea. It's a good idea getting women into the school. I think the difficulty is that sometimes they might be a bit negative about the conditions. So
Yeah.
you've got to try and find that balance, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, okay, brill. Do you know what? It's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you, Angelica.
Yeah.
It's been an absolute pleasure. So thank you very much for taking some time out to speak to me on the podcast. If people are interested to see your YouTube or to follow you on Instagram, where do they come to find you? What's the best place for them to come and find you? Is it on Facebook, and how do they find you?
Yeah, they can just search on Google for Angelica Larsson, and they will find everything like Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and all of that stuff. So
cool.
It's pretty easy.
And I say go looking, because you're going to get educated on how to carry out low loader work, because it's fascinating, and you do a really great job. So yeah, thank you very much for joining me on today's podcast. Thank you.
I really hope you loved today's episode, and if you did, please make sure you subscribe and listen out for future episodes too. Please do share it across your social media channels. We hope to reach more and help more people. If you want to find out more about me, my name's Pete Rushmer. You'll find me across any social media channel, and my business, Flagship Partners, and we're your partners in success across your business. Thank you. See you again soon.